Well, another update. Those little, I'm not sure what they're called. I think I've been calling them Cyclops. It could be something else. Basically, the male has a tail. The female has a tail, but it looks like she has 2 feet. See how that one right there looks? Keep going. No. Yeah, there it goes. See? That's the female version, or the male version of these. And every once in a while there's another thing in there. I don't know if you can see those little, very small, it might just be babies. I don't know what that thing right there in the center is. There's one of those female versions. But that thing, I don't know what it is. Excuse me. Springtime. I was hoping the little sea anemone thing would pop back up. And so this is water, just in case another one explaining this doesn't show up. So it's got about a 1/2 inch of Miracle-Gro potting soil, and then about 1.5 inches or 2 inches of play sand I got from Home Depot. Then after some time, I had a magnolia leaf in here. You see how this got these little things on it, and it's a little different. It's kind of interesting. But I got another one that's got another magnolia leaf, and it had also something growing on the bottom, but it looked more like a jellyfish, and I touched it and it felt more like a jellyfish. That is something different than the other time. I don't know what it is. Matter of fact, that I think is one of the same thing. And that over there, I don't know what it is. And then that thing jumping around, not positive, but I think that was a Daphnia. Like I said, I'm not positive about any of these things, but just watching some other videos where they do resurrection jars and, you know, just to see what comes out. That's what this is. In fact, at some point, this stuff may scare me enough because I don't really want to get it in the air in my house. Those super tiny ones. That must be the babies. But yeah, I don't want this stuff floating around in the air in my house. And I'm assuming that stuff, it's a mold, can put off a spore. So, oh, look at that. There's another one. Oh, that's that one that's on that leaf. I'm just zoomed in, didn't recognize it. What that is. Some of these things are just starting to show up. They wasn't there before. So I guess the water temperature is warming up, and some of these other little creatures are starting to come out. That one little creature that kind of worked like a sea anemone, it was stationary. It's in another video somewhere. And interestingly, it kind of looked more like a catcher's mitt and it worked like an anemone. And then when one of those bugs flew into it, it would chomp on it, you know, kind of like really fast. It would like super fast chomp on it. But it reminded me, in that respect, it reminded me of a Venus flytrap. Like it was just sitting there waiting for something to go into it. And then when it did, it took advantage. But yeah, see those little moldy things in there? I don't know, they kind of scare me. So I may, like I said, I'm in the name of health, and that just don't look healthy. I may kill this tank with Clorox. Dump it outside. Fun to watch though. I mean, kind of looks like a rabbit. They all kind of got look like little things, don't it? Like a little city in there. But like I said, so just so you know, the idea of a what do they call it? It's not a dark aquarium. Well, anyway, you put leaves in there, and you know the tannins release and make a dark colored aquarium water, kind of like tea, I guess. If you put in out of the wild magnolia leaf into water that came out of a tributary, I'll never explain that, did I? And so this creek, this top layer, I scooped up the bottom of a creek. It's a tributary to Drake's Creek, which feeds Old Hickory Lake. And sorry, I see something else, and I'm like, what is that? And then I poured in creek water, which I'm fixing to do again. I went and got some more. I'm fixing to add some water to it. So it's full of things that are in Drake's Creek and the tributary to Drake's Creek. And except for the magnolia leaf, I got that out of your yard. And you know, I'm just watching as it develops, but I really didn't expect it to develop into that. Was not expecting that at all. I was expecting a lot of things, but like dragonfly larvae and stuff. That never some dangerous looking. Let me zoom out slowly. You can see that little rock that it's near. I'm gonna bring my finger in. So that rock is smaller than my finger. Those things are smaller than my fingernail. So, and then there's little worms in there somewhere. I noticed they're not on the. Wait a minute, there might be one. They're usually on the glass, or at least some. But I don't see them kind of going around. Although, oh, that kind of looks. No, that ain't one. They're white worms. I don't have a clue what they are other than just white worms. They're very small. About the size of 3 full grown of those. Cyclops. Or, oh man, I'm going to go fishing with something just like that. Yeah. I think I'm also going to turn the aquarium around. Because I've been viewing this one side for a while. There might be something completely different on that other side. That'll be my next video after I pour the water in.